It all began in 1964 when I was 8 years old. I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and it had a profound effect on me. I remember begging my parents to buy me a guitar, and they bought me a cheap acoustic and a Beatles wig for my birthday that year. And I would stand in front of the mirror for hours, lip-syncing the Beatles records and pretending I was Paul McCartney. Yeah, well, the hair's all gone now, but I'm still at it 50 years later. As I grew up during the 70s, I was in numerous bands. Most of them were garage bands. But I did have a few bands that were professional and did some touring around the country. Right around the mid-70s, I decided it might be time to grow up a little bit, so I decided to go to college. I was accepted at the Medical College of Virginia in Richmond in the occupational therapy program. Music has always been in my blood. Even though I was working a full-time job, I still had to have the music thing going on. So I would play on the weekends. There weren't a lot of people doing the one-man band thing at that time. In Pittsburgh, I became pretty well in demand. And by the mid-'80s and into the '90s, I was winning reader polls in Pittsburgh Magazine for Best Acoustic Entertainer, Best Vocalist in the City, and that sort of thing. So I was starting to get a little recognition for what I was doing. At one point, I decided to move to Nashville, Tennessee, which was kind of crazy, but I packed up the van, headed on down. I auditioned for and got a job at Opryland as a strolling performer. I also got to meet some of my heroes, Dan Fogelberg, Greg Allman, Lee Greenwood, John Prine, some of these guys. Great experience, but in '93, I met a girl, fell in love, got married, had kids. So that kind of put the brakes on being the full-time musician. So I moved back to Pittsburgh. About 5 years ago, I decided to pursue music once again on a full-time basis. And I've been doing it ever since. I just love traveling around, entertaining folks around the country. I especially love going to Florida in the wintertime and playing these country clubs. The weather's warm, everybody's happy and enthusiastic. The majority of my audiences are baby boomers these days. So we're all having a good time. We're enjoying the good life. These days, I've begun to utilize some really awesome technology. I make my own background tracks nowadays, and I can use those as an adjunct to what I'm doing with the guitar. When you have a band, you have that element of volume. I can keep it entertaining, but I can keep the volume at a reasonable level so people can still have a conversation, and some people over here may want to dance. So you can have the best of both worlds. Having been an entertainer for over 30 years now, I've become very adept at learning how to read a room and develop rapport with my audiences. It's all about catering the music that I'm playing with the mood and the tempo of the event for which I'm playing. At this point, I'm well over 1,500 songs in my repertoire. I'm extremely versatile. Great music has a way of just bringing out those memories, bringing them back and making you feel good. And that's just what I do. It's always fun revisiting these songs that we're playing in the background as we're growing up and living our lives. Those are the songs I play, and it just brings those memories right back. It's an awesome thing.